From all the terrible reviews I saw from this movie, I was expecting an abomination, but it was a pleasant surprise. Spoilers ahead. The key to happiness in life is having low expectations, and that applies to movies too. I was expecting the worst version of this film, and instead I got a decent Kung Fu Panda movie. Now, the past 3 films, especially number 2 and 3, had set the bar so high it would be hard to follow up. And I'm afraid the concept of sucking the kung fu out of past villains is very similar to taking the chi from them. Po needs a successor. Not an instant successor, but eventually he'll need one. And I do like the idea of that successor being an outcast. First dragon warrior was an adopted panda, raised by a noodle cooking dog. Now, a reformed orphan fox. That I did like. The way the chameleon shapeshifted was very impressive. As someone who is an animator, I can tell you that it is a wild thing to do. I can think of a few ways in which they probably did it, but all of them are crazy hard to make, particularly in such a seamless way. The fights weren't as moving or as elegant as in the other 3 films, but they were still entertaining. I think that's what this movie is, entertaining. It's not meant for you to have an emotional experience scored by Hans Zimmer. It's meant for you to ride along one last time with the Dragon Warrior. Another positive aspect of the film was how it showed the respect for past villains, particularly Tai Lung. We know that Tai Lung wanted to be the Dragon Warrior and that he always felt that Po wasn't worth it. But I guess the spiritual realm made him become wiser, and after seeing Po defeat the chameleon, he earned his respect. That's one of the highlights of the movie, no doubt. Even if the story is nothing groundbreaking, it's still decently well written. There are no uncomfortable issues with the story, aside from the fact that it's not as good as its predecessors. The animation is fantastic, the music is great, it looks like it was scored by Hans Zimmer again, so that's always good. I'm not sure if they just used bits of his composition and mixed them with new compositions by the other name that appeared on the screen, but nevertheless, it was good. The voice acting was on point. I was very pleased with Awkwafina's performance, and it's a true delight to hear Ian McShane as Tai Lung once again. The cinematography is good, but it doesn't feel as authentic as number 2 or 3. It has its moments, and I can appreciate it. There was a lot of talk about not having the Furious 5, and I get it. But I also think in the past film, they were in the movie just for a bit. It's kinda hard to juggle so many characters and maintain a cohesive story. It worked well in the first movie because they were just used as plot devices. But after a while, it just becomes hard to deal with. Maybe Kung Fu Panda 4 lacks some of the awesomeness of its predecessors, but it is a decent continuation of Po's story. A Po we've seen grow more and more with each film. As always, thank you for watching. See you next time.